Hi.
Okay. Hi again.
I'm Caroline. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you too. I'm sure, did you get the email that I sent? Just to give you a little bit of background of my background with your chapter.
Yeah, I saw that
Yeah,
you helped establish them. That's so cool.
yeah,
I love that. Um,
yeah.
it's definitely nice. I know we haven't been like around as long as everybody else has, but it's still nice to see that we have people like all over the country who know who we are and stuff and have sisters everywhere. So
Well, actually, when I think back, your chapter's much older than you think it is because it makes me feel quite old when I think about what was going on in my own personal life, at that time. But again, your chapter holds a really special place in my heart. Any of those chapters that I had that privilege of establishing and installing, I keep really close tabs on them. So I'm anxious to hear what words pop into your mind when you think about friendship.
when I think about friendship, I think the biggest thing I think of is loyalty, support, kindness, empathy. Everything that I can think of all my best friends being are the words that pop into my head. Someone
Uh,
who helps me grow as a person, who's there to support me when I'm at my worst points. I think friendship really embodies everything that is a part of my life at this time because I'm really relying on all of my friends during the pandemic and
yeah,
something I've been
yeah,
thinking about a lot lately.
yeah. And I think another great word, another descriptor is community. And, not often do you hear the word community in the same sentence with friendship, but I think it just sends a really great message that we are all in community, with each other, with our university communities, and, that bridging of all the different communities. And that's all, built upon the relationships that we have in our chapters and what extends out beyond that.
You can have a friend in just about everybody, whether they're your deep friends who know a lot about you or someone who you just see in class or on campus.
Right.
I mean, I could name 5 friends in my hand, but I could probably name a million more that I've interacted with and who've made an impact on my life, you
Yeah.
know?
What are the characteristics, of a good friend? And we don't really need to say your best friend, but a good friend.
Um, Personally, I think the characteristics of a good friend is honesty. I like someone who's gonna be able to hold me accountable for my actions and the way that I behave and the way that
Hmm.
others. Like, I wanna be the best that I can be, and I think that my friends play a big role in that by holding me accountable and helping me to grow as a person and supporting me in the times that I need it and everything. So definitely those.
Hmm. Hmm. For me, personally, the word that just really pops out for me and what I think about is loyalty. And what's made that really crystal clear to me this particular week, as I reflected on our time together, is I had a conversation with my mom. My mom is 94 years old, and my mom is a Sigma Kappa, and she is an incredibly loyal Sigma Kappa, and has been for decades. And she has her share of some cognitive challenges right now. But we had an amazing conversation the other day. She said, Don, I've really been thinking about Sigma Kappa. And I said, well, what are you thinking, Mom? And she said, do you realize how much Sigma Kappa has given to me over the years? And all the opportunities I had and all the travel. My mom served as a national officer for the sorority for a number of years too. And she just went on and on about, all the conventions that she had an opportunity to attend and all the chapters she had visited. And the whole gist of the conversation was her making a decision how to give back at age 94. obviously this is a good time for us to reflect too on the core values of Sigma Kappa with Founders Day. Just a week and a half away for us. And I know that you and I were asked to reflect on, why did we think the founders even landed on friendship as a core value? And certainly, in their time, it was the dialogue and the conversation about that was probably much simpler, and the words were simpler
Right.
than
Of course.
than what we use today, and for them to have dreamed what it would become 146 years later would have been beyond their scope of imagination. So Caroline, when you think about that and you reflect on the founders, as we do that, as we lead up to Founders Day, why do you think they landed on friendship as a core value?
I think the reason they landed on friendship as a core value is because they were exemplifying that themselves. They were friends who were starting this organization, and they needed the support of each other and to be there for each other and to be loyal and be a good friend. That's what they needed when it came to creating Sigma Kappa itself. And I think that because it was such an important part of the startup, and being able to interact with each other that way is something that they obviously valued throughout the process and wanted everybody else to embody that just as much.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, it really is the cornerstone of our organization. And, there are tangible and there are intangible benefits to friendship. So Caroline, when you look at your sisters, and especially during this really unique, time in our history, how do you see them living out that value of friendship?
Oh, I don't even know how to start. I have so many examples. I see the people and my sisters living out friendship every single day in all of their actions. It's the times where you could post on a group chat or something and be like, hey, I'm having a really hard day. And next thing you know, you have 12 people reaching out to you, asking how they can support you in what ways, or what you need. Do you need a shoulder to cry on? Do you need a hug? What do you need from me? I think it's all of the people who have been supportive of each other. I watch my friends all the time be accepting of one another and different beliefs and opinions, and still be willing to grow with them and interact with them and
Mhm.
value the way that they are as a person, accepting each other, that you can be different from someone else and still share something in common, like our chapter. And also, I see accountability a lot, especially during this time with the pandemic,
Mhm.
making sure that people are being safe and following what's best for the general public, and holding each other accountable to be the best that they can be while also representing us as a chapter. I think every single person I know embodies this and represents friendship well, because it is something that people take to heart. And I think when you think of having a sorority sister and someone who is there for you all the time, you think of a good friend. And I think that has a lot to do with the people that I've chosen to surround myself with by going to Sigma Kappa. So,
Mhm. Mhm. I think it's really interesting you bring up the accountability piece, because accountability looks different today than it did a year ago.
right. Yeah.
Doesn't it? It takes on a different form of how we care for each other and how we care for the health and safety of each other. So when you think about your engagement in the chapter and your engagement really on campus, because I know you're a campus leader, as well as a chapter leader, how has friendship impacted your leadership?
For me, I think friendship has made me an incredible leader. It's made me super confident to stand in front of a room and be the leader that I am today because I know that I have an entire support system of my friends and sisters who are there to lift me up when I need and to back me when I am making a tough decision. Um, it's given me confidence. It's given me the ability to understand others by being able to know the way that my friends function and the way that my friends feel. I've learned so much from them and our friendship that I've been able to incorporate it into my leadership style. And I think it's made me more conscientious that a lot of the times as a leader, you have to think of people over policy and knowing that at the end of the day, like people are what are there for you and they're the people that you care about the most. And when you have to be a leader, you have to think about the people that you're interacting with and how they feel and what's best for them. And I think that being a leader with friendship is something that's made it so much easier for me as well to know that I have these people backing me and supporting me and holding me accountable, but also encouraging me to take leaps of faith and be the best leader that I can be. So
So let's explore a little bit about your Panhellenic community and the chapter's engagement in the community. But let's talk about that a little bit more and how we bridge those relationships and those friendships with our Panhellenic sisters.
yeah, so I think personally, as a Panhellenic community, we are super inclusive. We get along really well. We've also been addressed by other schools that kind of surround the area as the Disneyland
Mhm.
of life because we've known to kind of eliminate competition and competitiveness and learn how to get along in harmony. And I think the reason that that works out so well is we all kind of align our actions with our values. So we value friendship, loyalty, all of these things. And we've been able to bring that out into the community in different ways to connect with other people. So, different friends that I have in other chapters, I've been able to make connections with them from being in Greek life and show them the values that I hold really close to my heart, but also be able to experience the things that they have to offer and the things that they value. So, it's been
Mhm.
really
Mhm.
incredible. I've met so many people just from going through recruitment and being a part of the community that I was shocked. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what do you mean I can have friends in a different chapter than me?" Like, it's something that I was so unknowing of, like, I didn't know it
Uh-huh.
was a thing, but now I have friends in multiple chapters, and I have a friend no matter where I go because I decided to join this community, so
Well, this has just been an incredible experience and how fun for me to make a new Sigma Kappa friend with you.
yeah, it's been incredible. I feel so honored to be able to have a conversation with someone like you.
Well, thank you, Caroline, but really the privilege is mine. The privilege is mine to be able to spend time like this with you, to be able to share a lot of years of experiences within the paternal community, and I've said it more than once during this this discussion that I do this and I have done this for so many years because I so believe in what the sorority provides for young women, for every aspect of who we are, and you have articulated that so well. And I'm so proud of you and what you've accomplished in your chapter and within your university community.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't be where I am without women like you, so thank you for that. I mean, you've definitely paved the way for leaders like me to take as much as I can out of this experience, and I feel like it's very special that I've been able to connect with someone like you because obviously we're for different places and different chapters, but to know that we have a connection and to know that you had a role in establishing my chapter is incredible. Like, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, very literally, so I think that's incredible.